Hey, what's up, you guys? It's IAmTheLionRider, and today we actually have a ton of news from the Planet Zoo community, specifically directly from Frontier. Going over the last 2 days of news, we have a lot to cover, so without further ado, let's just kind of jump into the first thing, which I guess we'll start with the big news, the updated Binturong. So if we check it out, the Binturong has clearly been significantly improved since the last time we saw it. I actually think we could probably pull up the last one. So this was the original reveal, and yeah, the new one is a lot better looking. So they've essentially addressed every issue that we had with the last one. So the big issue was it was way too fat. The ear tufts looked like they were maybe a second set of ears, so that's been improved. The eyeballs looked a lot creepier, and so if we just check out the new one again, like I said, everything appears to be have been fixed. So the eyes look significantly better. They look a lot more realistic, a lot less creepy, a lot less stylized, which is good. Similarly, the head shape, I can't really tell if it's changed all that much, but it's definitely been significantly thinned out, and it does kind of get that diamond shape. I wish they would have made the chin a little bit bigger, but aside from that, I think this is still significantly better than the last one. This actually looks like a Binturong. The ear tufts are actually ear tufts now, which looks really good. It does appear that they used the actual fur shader this time, so that looks really good. And they also seem to have updated the colorization of the actual fur texture so that it actually has more of the grayish tone and stuff. So basically every single change that we wanted has been fixed. So they worked. Assuming, and this is a little conspiracy time, assuming that they truly did intend on releasing this version of the Binturong and never had any previous intentions on updating it on their own, which I'm starting to believe they do, based on the timeline. If that was true, the person that did this did a lot of overtime, because that was shown off on Friday. The announcement of we'll review it happened on Friday, and then the weekend, obviously, they shouldn't have worked. Maybe the team did work over the weekend to have it done by today. However, I think it might be, based on the time frame, it's a little coincidental that this perfect of a Binturong is now done the day before release. I think it may make more sense that they always intended on touching it up internally, and just the fact that everyone had issues with it might have been free PR. Again, conspiracy theory, just my take, based off the timeline. It just seems a little weird that they got it done this fast. Clearly, with what I assume this is probably like a new Zoopedia image, essentially. Like, they basically would have had to alter a lot of things in a very, very short amount of time. Could be done, definitely, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought that might have been a little bit suspicious. But I will say, once again, this looks phenomenal. I think this is definitely going to now look up to par with the other animals in the pack. So everyone's loving it. I think that's great. I love it. I think this is an awesome looking Binturong. Can't wait to see it in game. Next up, we actually have a thing that I missed yesterday, and that was the Proboscis Monkey reveal. So I felt like it wasn't really important to cover yesterday in its own video because it's not too much, but because we already saw the male Proboscis Monkey, and what we did actually get to see is the baby Proboscis Monkey. I really doubt it's the female based off the sizing. I know the perspective kind of made some people believe it might be the female. I do believe this is the juvenile, however, just because the size is significantly different, and while the nose is small, females don't have that small of noses. So I definitely think this is definitely the juvenile instead. But it looks really good. I'm glad that we have some differences between the adults and the babies. That's a big deal with the Proboscis Monkey. And I as I've always said, the Proboscis Monkey looks really, really good. It's always been probably one of my favorites in this pack. It looks really, really good. The texture quality is very high. The geometry is very good. I love the nose. That's obviously great. Animation-wise, just based on the posing, it does appear to have significantly new animations, which is also great. We've seen that kind of showcased in the trailers and stuff. So, to my knowledge, this probably won't behave all that similar to the existing primates and stuff, like the macaques or anything. So, I definitely think this is going to be a really, really great addition to the zoo, and who doesn't like monkeys? So another monkey species, always great. So the next thing that we can address is actually showcased today. It was the developer journal, and this is basically a wall of text. So I don't want to like go into too great of detail about reading the whole thing. I'm gonna have a link in the description. You can check out all the things, but I did want to highlight some things. So they basically did a kind of overview of the entire Southeast Asia animal pack from a developer's perspective, kind of walking through the process. I know a lot of people like basically understand their process now, but if you don't, they kind of walk you through. Like, it starts with character art, then it moves over to animation, then it moves over to the audio department. Then they have like quality assurance and stuff like that. But we did get some kind of new teasers. So here is the another look at the Malayan tapir. This is one of the animals that hasn't been showcased too much, other than the one other screenshot and then the quick little 5-second video clip we saw in the announcement trailer. But the Malayan tapir does, I like this posing a lot better. I hope this is the Zoopedia, to be honest. This is a much better framing image of the animal compared to the last image we saw with like the male, female, and juvenile. I really like this image. The lighting on it is really good. I still, based off of the model and stuff, and we're gonna verify this in game in a few days. Trust me, I'm gonna be analyzing if this is truly just a clone of the Beard's tapir. It still does very much resemble the Beard's tapir proportions. I don't think they made any significant changes to the model, but I definitely think that this screenshot makes this animal look a lot better than the last one we saw. So I think this is definitely a much better image, and I can't wait to see the Malayan tapir in game. So similarly, we've seen this sun bear image. This was posted alongside the announcement trailer. It had like a bunch of animal pictures, but once again, sun bear looks really good. In the actual details of the post, a lot of it like really isn't too specific about the actual pack. I will say it's just kind of a vague overview of like how they do their process. Like, if you just see like they take care of animal shape, color, fur, and skin, then we send it over to the riggers, and then they make a like, it's just a lot of like technical jargon of the process that really isn't all that specific to this pack in particular. But we did get a couple of little tidbits. So if we scroll down just a little bit, they do mention some stuff like, as an example, the audio department actually used some actual like basically their cats like audio sound effects to get some of the clouded leopard vocals for the juvenile, which is kind of cool. Similarly, they also mentioned that the dholes make kind of a yipping noise. They don't really or like a whistling and stuff, instead of like barking like any of the other canines that we have so far, like howling or barking or growling. Dholes make a more like a whistle, essentially. And so there was just a couple of little things. For the most part, they didn't really go into too much detail about any other specifics, but they definitely said that they spent a lot of time, the normal stuff we've heard time and time again, like, oh, we spend a lot of time consulting with different people about research and behavior, and watch like a lot of footage and stuff. And so that I'd kind of be interested in seeing like what they use as like footage and stuff. Personally, like, it'd be just interesting if it was like, oh yeah, where did you get like your reference photos and stuff and research? Because I think it makes a lot of sense. Like, when we look at some of the animals, we're like, oh, this was clearly inspired by this particular animal instead of another animal or something. So now, this was the thing that I kind of liked about this post, though. They actually specify how furry animals don't usually get as much detail as ones without fur, which seems to definitely be the case. Because if we look at stuff like the cassowary and the babirusa, those animals are very, very highly detailed, and really, everyone kind of praises their quality by a long shot. And the furrier animals, while they still look good, the Proboscis Monkey is a great example. People have definitely noticed that there is a significant decrease in the amount of detail in the sculpture work with the fur animals. And even us modders have kind of realized this ourselves, just because the fur shader basically hides any normal map detail or ambient occlusion you're even going to include. but it definitely looks really good. So past that, that's pretty much everything that we actually have. They basically, kind of go over, oh, what's your favorite animal? Proboscis Monkey, Clouded Leopard, the stuff that we get pretty much every update. But past that, that really kind of covers everything. So thank you all for watching. Like I said, quickly, the Binturong, great animal, really liking it. And if you guys want to see more news and updates about the Southeast Asia Animal Pack, I will be covering it significantly on my channel tomorrow when the pack drops on the 30th. And we're going to go over all of the stuff. We're going to go over the new water system, the new animals, pretty much everything. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.